Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
the Tigers. J.D. Martinez is red hot once again. Martinez homered in the ballgame last night, and J.D. now has gone deep in 3 consecutive games. He'll be back in the lineup tonight for the Tigers. It's another gorgeous night for baseball. Final game between the Tigers and the Reds. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pema alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us for the final game in this portion of the home and home versus the Reds. And J.D. Martinez, Rod, well, he's been awfully good. Another home run last night, and he's in one of those hot streaks again.
He's been awfully streaky this year. He had that one stretch where he was 0 for 25 with a lot of strikeouts, but since then, he has really perked up. And for J.D. Martinez these days, for him to be able to drive in runs, he has to hit it out of the ballpark because Miggy's driving him in, Cespedes is driving him in, and there's J.D. to pick up some crumbs.
All right, let's go beyond J.D. Martinez now and talk about 3, 4, 5 because they've been awfully good. This is what we expected when we talked about the middle of the Tigers lineup. Miguel Cabrera, 386 in the month of June. Yoenis Cespedes is over 400 in the month of June, and Martinez is right there with him. This is an awfully potent trio.
No question about that, and they're getting ready to add one more potent bat. That would be Victor Martinez, possibly in New York for that Yankees series, but you also have to give a lot of credit to Iglesias at the bottom of that batting order. Also, Rajay Davis. Kinsler started to heat up. Anthony Ghost. When those guys get on, that's when the big boys can do some damage with those numbers we just showed you.
All right, let's wrap up the homestand here tonight. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios. Check in with Matt Shepard. Coming up with this one here tonight, Tigers again looking to take down a National League team. A lot of success against the NL. The most wins since 06 versus the NL. Tigers, Reds, coming up next. Tigers and the Reds getting together. Kyle Ryan is on the hill. He is presented tonight by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Ryan making his second start of the season for the Tigers. He's 1-0. He's pitched 13 innings. He has an outstanding earned run average. A couple different fastballs. He'll sink the fastball. He'll cut it. Also throws a curveball and a changeup. Very important for Ryan to keep the ball very low in the strike zone.
And here come the Reds now in the top of the first. Brandon Phillips leads it off, and he looks at ball one from Ryan. Phillips was 0 for 4 in the opener last night. The Reds managed only 2 hits. They were really shut down by Sanchez. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That is popped up foul, back out of play. 1-1 on Phillips. .296 average, 3 home runs this year. 26 driven in for the Reds.
And Brandon, real nice two-way player. He wins Gold Gloves, and he also wins Silver Slugger awards.
He looks at a fastball high, and the count now goes to 2-1. Reds come in at 28-35. Tigers 4 over the 500 mark. They are 34-30. Phillips takes high and away again, and the count goes 3-1 on the Cincinnati leadoff man. Waiting on deck, Ivan DeJesus Jr. Now Ryan ready with the 3-1 offering. And Phillips sends a ground ball to short. That'll be routine for Iglesias. 1 up and 1 away. Here's the rest of the lineup for the Reds, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Ivan DeJesus Jr. is next, and Joey Votto hitting third in the lineup, followed by Frazier and Bruce. Brian Pena, the former Tiger, catching. Dominguez, Hamilton, and Negron, the bottom 3 for Brian Price and the Reds. Here's Ivan DeJesus Jr. He's hit safely in his last 5 in a row. Has played in only 7 games at the major league level this year, batting .286. And Ryan throws strike 1 on DeJesus. Called up on June 3rd when Paul Bird was placed on the disabled list for the Reds. They've really been hounded by injuries this year, which has not helped their cause. The 0-1 is foul, tipped into the glove. 0-2. DeJesus is the son of Senior, obviously, who played in the big leagues. His dad played 15 years in the major leagues.
Dad was a really good baseball player.
He accomplished a lot in the game. In fact, he wound down his career here in Detroit with the Tigers. A little bit outside. 1-2. DeJesus in the 2 spot. Bit of a change in the lineup tonight for the Reds. Some new pieces in their starting 9. There's a strike called. Got him looking. 2 gone.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense presented by Bell Fox Chevrolet. McCann behind the plate has been superior at throwing out would-be base stealers this year. As a matter of fact, he has caught 10, which ranks him 5th in the American League. Tigers as a team have been outstanding defensively. And that's a really nice cut fastball on the outside corner to get strike 3 of DeJesus Jr.
Here is Joey Votto now with the bases empty, and he looks at strike 1.
We were told that Votto swinging at more first pitches this year than he has in his career, but he has taken the first pitch in every last one of his at-bats the last couple of nights.
I mentioned the Reds had only 2 hits last night. Votto had 1 of them. He beat the shift by bunting down the third base line. And here's that shift that they employ against Votto. 1-1 is hit in the air to right field. J.D. Martinez on the move. And it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Ryan. A nice start to this one tonight as we go to the bottom of the first. The bottom of the first of the Tigers starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. It'll be Anthony Ghost leading it off. Ian Kinsler has been hot in his last 10. He's playing second base. Then Cabrera. Cespedes Martinez also in the middle. Tyler Collins, your DH. Castellanos, McCann, Iglesias rounding it out. And they are facing 23-year-old Michael Lorenzen.
Lorenzen has a power arm. Fastball will get all the way up to 97 miles an hour. He likes to throw his changeup to right-handed batters. He also has a very nice curveball. Lots of life on the fastball thrown by Lorenzen.
So he'll go to work now against Anthony Ghost, who was 1 for 4 plus a walk last night. Anthony also stole a couple of bags and scored a run, batting a solid .283. Here is Lorenzen's 1-0. Shot to left field, base hit. Little looper down the line. He might try for 2. He is. And the throw, not in time. Double for Anthony Ghost.
Lorenzen started Anthony Ghost off with a first pitch breaking ball. He missed with that pitch. So Ghost knew beyond a shadow of a doubt he was going to get a fastball. And the next one sliced it the opposite way into Jesus. Slow getting there. And Ghost stretched that single into a double.
So just like last night when Ghost got on to start the ball game, he is aboard at second base now for Ian Kinsler. 1 for 3 last night. Ball 1 low as Pena goes down to get it. Lorenzen goes 6'3", 203. Born in Anaheim, California. Played his college ball at Cal State Fullerton.
Tigers are going to get a lot of fastballs to hit here tonight. Most of them will be in the mid-90s. Even with runners in scoring position.
2-0. Kinsler 26 driven in, 7 hits on this homestand for the Tigers. He's gotten it going offensively a little bit. And he looks at ball 3 inside. There is Cabrera waiting on deck. Shadows covering the entire infield, still some sunlight in the outfield. The 3-0 pitch. And it's in there, 3-1. You see what the shadows are doing on the infield. Some patches along the dirt as well in sunlight. Now Lorenzen with the 3-1. Grounded foul, 3-2.
Let's take a look at the Cincinnati Reds starting defense. It is brought to you by Tim Hortons. We told you when Brandon Phillips was in the batter's box, he's won 5 Silver Slugger awards. Well, he catches the baseball very well, too. 4 Gold Gloves, 208, 210, 2010, 11 and 13 for Phillips.
Kinsler slaps it back out of play. Count stays 3-2 on Ian.
I like that last swing by Ian on the elevated fastball at 95. Still trying to do his job. Runner on second base, nobody out, trying to advance Ghost to third.
Anthony let it off with a double down the left field line. And again the 3-2. Ripped down the left field line and foul. Kinsler has hit safely in 9 of his last 10. He is battling Lorenzen here. It's about to be the 8th pitch in this at bat. Tigers would love to put an early run up here against the Reds. And it's fouled away. Reds have really had a tough season in interleague play. They are 1-8 against the American League.
And most of that is against the Central. The Central is a very good division, and it's absolutely dominating the Reds.
There's Brian Price in his second year as the skipper of the Reds. Their only interleague win this year came in Chicago against the White Sox. drilled in the air toward right center field. Hamilton, long run, still going. He'll track it down at the warning track. Ghost will easily move up. Kinsler gave that thing a ride. One out runner at third now. Here are the field conditions presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. What a gorgeous night it is tonight. And why? Well, because the humidity is down. It's pretty much half of what it was last night. Temperature at 72, partly cloudy at the ballpark this evening. Gorgeous night.
This may be the nicest night we've had here at Comerica Park this year.
I would agree. Hard to argue.
Well, it looks like they're going to pitch to Miguel here with a runner on third and one out in the first inning.
They're playing Miguel to pull. And he shoots it the other way. Ho-hum, a base hit, and an RBI. Cabrera knocks in his 48th of the year, 1-0 Detroit.
All Lorenzen can do is just shake his head. Miguel Cabrera, when there's runners in scoring position, he will not let you throw that first pitch fastball by him. That ball is up in the strike zone. It's away from Miguel. Miguel's a career 300 hitter, but they vacated the entire right side for him.
Might want to adjust that scouting report. Cabrera has done that quite a few times this year, taking that base hit. So it's 1-0, and here is Cespedes. Or maybe they think 1-0 is better than 2-0. Cespedes batting .310. He's knocked in 34. It's been a gargantuan month of June for the Tiger left fielder. Yoenis back out of there, almost hit by the pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nine-game hitting streak now for Cespedes. Two and one.
And Miguel Cabrera's updated numbers with runners in scoring position this season, batting .373, and with 4 homers and 29 driven in.
Now he's gone 3 and 1.
And Miguel also a major reason why the Tigers have gotten a lot of early leads against the opposition this season. And they have outscored their opponents 46-32 in the very first inning.
Line to right field. Ball hit pretty well, but playable. Dominguez runs it down, and Cabrera retreats. 2 gone. That'll bring up J.D. Martinez. Which brings us to our Bernstein advantage for this one. Bernstein advantage has belonged to J.D. Martinez in his last 10. How about these numbers? .342 with 4 home runs. And he's knocked in 12 in that span. Homers in 3 consecutive games for J.D. Swing and a miss as Lorenzen gets ahead 0-1. Martinez overall this year has knocked in 34. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Lorenzen this year was one of the final cuts the Reds made during spring training. Started the year at AAA and was 2-1 there with a 2.84 ERA. Very highly thought of prospect. Right back to the mound and caught by Lorenzen. Hit it hard right at him. Cabrera gets an RBI to give the Tigers a 1-0 lead. RBI single to right field. Anthony Ghost let it off with a double, comes around to score the run. Meanwhile, Kyle Ryan had a 1-2-3 first, and now he'll go to work against Frazier here in the second. The slugging third baseman of the Reds, Todd Frazier.
You got to stay away from Todd Frazier. He's a dead pull hitter, and he has a lot of power. He's already homered 18 times. He has 19 doubles. Make him hit the ball the opposite way.
In the air to center field, where Ghost is positioned. One out. That'll bring up Jay Bruce.
Bruce is really struggling right now. In his last 8 games, the batting average is at 111 with 11 strikeouts. Going through one of those stretches right now.
I know Sanchez kind of ripped through their entire lineup last night, but in the middle of their lineup, Votto, Frazier, and Bruce, I mean, all they had between them were a bunt single and another hit for Frazier. That's it. Another outstanding performance turned in by Anibal Sanchez. Well, there's a base hit to center field. It's a breaking ball that stayed right over the heart of the plate, and it was absolutely smoked to center field by Jay Bruce. First hit of the ball game for the Reds. That's why pitching coaches don't like those get me over breaking balls, because they don't usually get to the catcher's glove. Here's Brian Pena. Spent last year with the Reds after spending 2013 with the Tigers. He had a nice year here that one year he spent in a Tigers uni. He did a great job as a backup catcher. Played in a lot of ball games that year for the Tigers. Did 297. Not going to meet a better guy either. Here are those Tigers numbers. Knocked in 22 and part-time role, and again the 297 average, awfully good. Very affable, very friendly sort of guy. Ryan has allowed his first base runner, the single by Jay Bruce. Pena looks at a strike, and now it's 0-2. Ryan has hit safely in 4 of his last 5. And the 0-2. Bouncing ball to second. Kinsler shovel pass to second. Juan Iglesias relay a double play. It goes 4-6-3. Nothing doing for the Reds here in the second. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. When it's time, come to Comerica. Dodge, come discover great deals during the Dodge Drive and Discover event. And by Dean's Country Fresh Ice Cream, Squares, and Milk. Get real. Gorgeous night here in downtown Detroit as we bring you back to the ballpark in a 1-0 game. Tigers have the lead, and Tyler Collins leads it off. Tigers send Collins, Castellanos, and McCann to the plate, facing the right-hander Michael Lorenzen. Popped him up, straight up, right down the middle of the infield. It'll be Phillips at second. One away in the Tigers' second inning. We'll bring up Castellanos. Nick 1 out of 4 in the ball game last night. Has had just 3 hits on the homestand. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
So one thing that Castellanos continues to do, he's looking for a fastball on the first pitch. He's very aggressive always on first pitches, but the one thing that he has to do, if you're looking for the fastball, you can't continue to swing at the breaking balls.
Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, for Nick, it has not been a consistent start to the season, to be sure. He's had some moments. He'll look at a ball outside.
He'll get that fastball now. Lorenzen loves his fastball. We've already told you that he will top out at about 97.
Brian Pena flashing the signals, the 2-1. Well, the count goes to 3 balls, 1 strike. Another off-speed pitch there from Lorenzen.
And that he missed with.
Now on 3-1, let's see what Nick gets. He'll take a hack and fly it to right field. Dominguez coming over to the corner. And there are 2 gone to the Tigers' second. Hey, by the way, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's Big Mac and 10-piece McNuggets.
You can tell that Castellanos is a little indecisive right now, standing in the batter's box. 3-1 fastball, and he basically ties himself up. When you have that leg kick, the one thing you have to do is you have to get that foot down on the ground, which allows you to rotate the hips and gives you a lot more bat speed. His left foot, Castellanos, stayed in the air a little bit too long that time.
James McCann, the batter. McCann was 0 for 4 last night. And he laid off that pitch that time. 1 ball, 1 strike. McCann just a couple of hits on the homestand. .257 batting average for the Tiger backstop. It'll bounce in, 2-1. Tigers now against the Reds all time, 11-8. These 2 teams have not played here in this ballpark since 2006. Ooh, look out. That one caught the home plate umpire. Mike Everett was drilled. Here comes Kevin Rand. Boy, that buckled him. Right on the left shoulder. I thought for a moment that it actually hit McCann.
It got no glove either.
No.
Pena didn't touch it either. That hit him square.
Oh my goodness. So it wasn't even a deflection, it was a direct hit.
3-1.
Bill Everett says counts 3-1. Let's go. 2 out, nobody on in the second. Tigers lead 1-0. And McCann takes ball 4. So the Tigers will get a 2-out base runner, keep the inning going from one of their hotter hitters now. Jose Iglesias will step in. And as he does, we tell you in tonight's game we are participating in the Home Run Challenge. Every Tigers home run tonight will raise $12,000 for prostate cancer research. You can make a pledge by going online to homerunchallenge.org. Here's Iglesias. He sits safely in his last 6, and that average now is up to a very healthy 341. And it seems, Rod, like everything he's hitting these days is out to right field or right center.
Yeah, he's got a nice approach. If they hang him a breaking ball that stays up and in, he'll turn on that one and hit it to left field. But other than that, he's thinking about using the biggest part of the ballpark, left center field to right center field.
That time down the right field line, but foul.
Here's proof of the distribution of hits this year for Iglesias.
That's pretty uncanny right there. I mean, that's about as even as you're going to see a hits by direction chart.
I'm surprised that he's not qualifying for the batting leaders yet, though.
He's pretty close, I think.
He plays every day.
Yeah, that's a good point. 0-2 on Iglesias.
If he was to qualify, he would be second in the American League,
behind his teammate Miguel Cabrera. Here's the 0-2. Laid off that pitch outside, the 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Lorenzen. Lorenzen ranked the 4th best prospect in the Reds organization, was a 2013 draft choice. Breaking ball is grounded foul.
He came into this contest having walked 25 in 42 innings, so the base on balls obviously is an issue for him right now.
That is low. They will appeal. He did not go, said Tim Timmons. 2-2. Well, he's walked McCann here with 2 outs. Ground ball left side, fielded there by Frazier. Will throw to second. They'll get the force. And that'll be it for the Tigers. No runs, a walk, 1 man left. Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire. Brought to you by Meyer. Enter at www.foxsportsdetroit.com to be eligible to win a fantastic prize pack any baseball fan would love. Well, as we travel now to the third, it is still 1-0 in favor of the Tigers. Kyle Ryan back to the hill. Chris Dominguez will lead it off. Right fielder for the Reds pops up the first pitch. Foul ground, right field line. Miggy long run, can't get it. Came close.
Yeah, Miggy ran a long way to try to get this pop up in foul territory right off the tip of the glove.
So Dominguez has new life. He'll be followed by Hamilton and then Negron. 7, 8, 9 in the lineup for the Reds. Dominguez in just 6 games this year with Cincinnati batting .250. Ground ball back up the middle. Iglesias. One away. So Ryan continues to cruise along, gave up a single, but no damage in the second, got himself a double play. Kyle now has given up just 2 earned runs in his last 12 1/3. It's funny because you look at the numbers in the minor leagues. At Toledo, 0-5 with a 4.67, and all he does is come to the big leagues and just shuts down major league hitters.
It's quite amazing. The defense is a little bit better up here in the big leagues, obviously, with the Iglesias, Kinsler, Ghosts up the middle, McCann behind the plate.
Line drive right field, chasing Martinez back. That'll be an easy out, 2 gone. Time for a game break now. Here's Mickey York. All right, Mick, thanks. Well, the Tigers now 3 games behind KC, and Minnesota the same. They're starting to drop now.
Just to finish that thought on Kyle Ryan, when you come to the big leagues and you have guys that field the ball as consistently as the Tigers do, when you do throw those ground balls, they get gobbled up. He's already thrown 1 double play ball here tonight.
Well, that's as good an explanation as I've heard. I asked Jeff Jones after his start in Chicago, hey, how could this happen? He said, I don't know. That's all he had for me. How do you have a guy struggle against minor league hitters and just come up and be masterful up here?
He nearly made the team out of spring training. He nearly won one of those spots in the bullpen. They told him when he went down they wanted him to work on his breaking ball, so if they did call him back up, he would probably pitch out in the bullpen and he would be called upon to get left-handers out.
There's yet another ground ball. Iglesias makes a flashy play and throws him out. 1, 2, 3, third. Still 1-0 Tigers. a run in the first inning. They lead 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. And the top of the lineup coming up for the Tigers goes Kinsler and Cabrera. RBI single by Miggy in the first inning. The difference in this one, Ryan, meanwhile, has faced the minimum through 3, gave up a single but got a double play ball in the second. Now Lorenzen back to the hill. And Ghost looks at a strike on the outer edge, 0-1.
Ghost has gotten some opportunities to play against left-handers this year, but not all that often. Only 136 against lefties, but hitting over 300 against right-handers. I think coming into the season, I think Brad Ausmus kind of envisioned that he would platoon Rajai Davis and Ghost in the outfield, although he never really said that was his plan.
No, not in spring training. You're right. He never really came out and said that. But as Ghost got hot at the start of the year, he started getting most of the reps.
Right.
1-2 the count, which is tough for Rajai because when he has gotten an opportunity to play, I mean, he has really performed. Stealing a ton of bases. Very exciting player. Here's the 1-2. Little pop-up, shallow left field. That's going to flare out there and drop for a base hit, maybe 2. Now he's going to put on the brakes this time.
Let's take a look at the Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the game. Ghost with a hustling double in the very first inning. Kinsler did his job, fly ball deep enough to right field to get him to third, and then for whatever reason the overshipped on Miguel Cabrera, the second baseman, playing right behind the second base bag, and they throw him away. And Miguel drives in the first run of the evening for the Tigers.
Which always makes me wonder, I mean, aren't you supposed to pitch to the shift?
You'd think.
Kinsler standing in there now with the leadoff man on, and of course Ghost becomes a threat to run.
And to be perfectly honest with you, the fact that Miguel is the best hitter in the world, I'm surprised they did not walk Miguel and play for 2 off the bat of Cespedes. I know Cespedes is hot, but Mickey's going to drive that run in.
Yeah, it seems like always he'll drive it in. There's Cabrera waiting on deck. Runner goes, and Kinsler pops it back out of play. Ghost was on the move.
Surprised Kinsler swung at that fastball. Ghost had a tremendous jump.
Anthony stole 2 in the ball game last night, which gives the Tigers 51 now for the year. That is the most in the American League.
How about that?
The Tigers are leading the league in steals.
The Tigers have done a lot of really positive things from an offensive standpoint. They are in the top 2 or 3 in a lot of offensive categories, as they were last year.
Well, I think the first inning was a really good example of how more diversified they've been this year. You get the leadoff double, the guy moves him up, and then Cabrera singles him in. Ghost trying to get himself in a scoring position once again as Kinsler fouls it off. Well, here's the pace, 126. Should the Tigers continue this pace, it would be, well, it would best all of those seasons the last 5 years. Tigers stole just 35 bags a couple of years ago.
You got to be careful here if you're Anthony Ghost and you're thinking about stealing on the 0-2 pitch. They could pitch out if they choose to do so.
Ghost staying that time, and Kinsler again back at the screen.
Usually 0-2 counts are not good counts to run in because it's going to be a fastball most of the time.
And Lorenzen missed high and away, 1-2. Lorenzen doing all he can to keep Ghost close at first base, holding the ball a little bit longer. Lorenzen was a really good two-way player at Cal State Fullerton, was an outstanding center fielder, as well as a closer for the Titans. And he grew up just a few minutes away from Angel Stadium. Grew up watching Jim Edmonds, a fine center fielder out there in the mid-90s.
Edmonds was an outstanding defender. Good hitter, too. Cal State Fullerton was eliminated from the College World Series today. They've had a storied program, though.
1-2 is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lorenzen, in fact, left Cal State Fullerton as their all-time leader in saves. 35. But also hit over 300 as a center fielder. That's foul straight back. Two and 2 on Kinsler. Kyle Ryan looking for a little bit more support. Tigers have gotten him 1 run. He's done the rest so far. Ghost gets back again. Little chopper hit toward the second baseman. Barehanded play by Phillips. His relay is not in time. Well, that play by Brandon Phillips. With the bare hand, he shoveled it to the shortstop, Negron.
It's a nice aggressive slide by Ghost. Now, Phillips knew it was going to be tough to get 2, but he thought about doing it anyway. Negron had to aggressively come across that bag because Ghost was right on top of him, and he couldn't get anything on his throw because he was jumping and throwing at the exact same time.
Kinsler aboard on the fielder's choice. 1 on, 1 out for Miguel Cabrera. Ball 1 to Cabrera. He sits safely down 5 in a row with his RBI single in the first. And Miggy now is 13 for 22 on this homestand, which wraps up here tonight. 2-0.
Lorenzen has backed himself into a very dangerous count against Miguel Cabrera. 2 balls and no strikes. Tough to throw fastballs by Miggy in this particular count when he's looking for the fastball.
Three and 0. Cabrera being very neighborly for his former teammate, picked up his mask. Mickey was also pointing, sending him in the wrong direction.
Nice friend.
Pena didn't bite. Maybe he's not so neighborly then. There's ball 4. 2 on now with 1 out. His classic Cabrera right there. Now Cespedes. Juanes hit the ball hard his last time up, lined out to right field. His hitting streak has reached 9. The career high for Cespedes is a 16-game hitting streak that he put up last year in June. And Lorenzen fires one low and away. So he tiptoed around Miguel Cabrera. Now he's gone 1-0 on Cespedes.
He has thrown a total of 55 pitches, and he has missed with 25 of those. 30 strikes, 25 balls thrown.
Bouncing ball to short, could be 2. Negron to second 1. Phillips relays in time. They got him by half a step. It's the 3rd out of the inning. I don't know why everybody's throwing home. It's a double play to end the inning. The hijinks continue. Are they going to look at this? It was a close play.
Well, Phillips, it was very nonchalant in turning that double play on the feed from Negron. And Cespedes nearly beat it out.
No challenge. 6-4-3 in the double play, inning over. Buster Posey has overtaken Yadier Molina in the National League behind the plate.
How about Nori Aoki of the Giants in outfield?
He's got almost 3 million votes. And they got a couple of Cardinals on there. Peralta, Holiday. Brandon Phillips looks at a strike.
Aoki spent last year in the Kansas City Royals uniform. Maybe they're voting for him too.
They probably are. I didn't think about that. Why not? Phillips to Jesus and VOTTO against the lefty Kyle Ryan. Line drive to right, and Martinez has been busy out there tonight. One gone. Well, don't miss out on the July Party Suite special available for games July 1st through the 4th. Packages include 15 suite tickets, plus a voucher for an overnight stay at Motor City Casino Hotel. For more information, call 313-471-BALL. Here is Ivan De Jesus Jr. He struck out his first time up. One ball, one strike on De Jesus, who hit his first major league home run this year off Cole Hamels of the Phillies.
Kyle Ryan so far is 8 of 11 in first pitch strikes. And because of that, he's only thrown 29 total pitches, and most of those have hit the strike zone. He's only missed with 7 pitches.
Missed with another one there.
%90 of the 30 pitches thrown so far by Kyle Ryan have been either two-seam fastballs or cut fastballs.
Sinking into center field, and Ghost runs it down. I'll tell you what, the Reds are making a lot of quick outs tonight. Ryan had a 6-pitch second, a 7-pitch third.
Yeah, they're not displaying much patience at all. They've been going through it offensively. They lost a 2-1 ball game a couple of nights ago. Extra inning game. They played 11 innings on Sunday night. And then, of course, they only got 2 hits last night against Sanchez, but Sanchez was sensational once again last night.
Joey Votto takes ball one.
Sanchez faced 28 batters last night, and he only went to a 3-ball count on 4 of the 28.
Whoa. Retired the final 16 straight that he faced. Well, the Reds have really been struggling on the road.
This is since last year. June 30th of 2014, they've lost 51 of 70 games. Oh my goodness.
Well, on this current road trip, they're batting just $189. Here's the 1-1.
51 of 70.
Worst in the majors.
Second year for Brian Price. He was the pitching coach for 4 years, and before taking over the managerial reins last season. He's also spent another 10 years as a major league pitching coach with Arizona, Seattle Mariners.
Ryan now has fallen behind Votto 3-1. Votto fly to right field in his only at bat. Now 1 for 4 in the series. In there is strike.
Good cut fastball. And Votto gave up on it. He thought it was inside, and the natural cutting action on the 88-mile-per-hour fastball caught the inside corner.
And Mike Everett thought it was strike 3. He wound up on it.
Did he really?
Well, it looked like it. Oops. My bad, says Everett. Here's the 3-2. He even punctuated it with a loud strike 3 call. Frazier on deck.
Looks like he's still feeling the effects of that foul tip off of, well, it wasn't a foul tip, direct hit on the left shoulder.
Look at that foul tip catch by McCann.
Do it, James.
Oh, that was a great play. McCann holds on for strike 3. Check this out. Up and into the glove.
Encounter the last 3 days, JD Martinez most definitely has been dialing long distance. About 1,200 feet of home runs the last 3 days for JD. The first one over the 420 sign straightaway center field, and the last 2 right center field over the out-of-town scoreboard. So he's been flexing his muscles,
especially against the National League. 14 straight now, which ties the record for the longest in team history in hitting streaks against the NL. It's pulled foul down the third base line. And Martinez will be followed by Collins and Castellanos. Tigers bat in the fourth. They got a run in the first, and so far it has held up. The 0-1 to JD is a chopper to the shortstop. And Negron comes in to make the play. And Martinez is out. One gone in the Tigers' fourth.
Lorenzen is winless in his last 5 games, last 5 starts, but he really hasn't pitched all that poorly. And the earned run average is 3.77, so he hasn't been getting a tremendous amount of run support.
He was an all-star last year in the Southern League. At Pensacola, his ERA a shade over 3. Ball one high.
Meanwhile, the Tigers' offense is really perked up. They've won 6 of their last 8 games, and they've scored 44 runs in the 8 contests.
Let's see if this one finds the seats. Frazier will have room. And there are 2 gone. Collins is out.
But if you look at any of the teams that have gone on lengthy win streaks this year, not only do they get it done with an offensive standpoint, but their pitching has to be very good. The Tigers in their last 8, they're pitching to a 1.46 ERA. Their starters are.
Well, that's awfully good.
Yeah.
And you've got Price pitching the way Price can. You've got Sanchez now seemingly having turned things around. His last 4 have been awfully good.
Simon has been consistent from day one.
Castellanos the batter. Verlander has re-entered the mix after going 5 in his first start back. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Nick is 1 for 5 in the series. Checked it high. 2-1. Tigers and Reds are headed back to Cincinnati. Both teams tonight. They'll play 2 more at Great American Ballpark, which by the way is hosting the All-Star game this year. It's down the right field line, slicing to the corner. 2-2 on Castellanos. The Reds' closest vote getter to a starting position is their third baseman Todd Frazier. He is 3rd among National League third basemen.
Brian Price, the manager, has already been named to Bruce Bochy's staff, which is pretty much customary of the manager where the All-Star game is hosted.
Checked it, did not go. I don't think. Nope. So says Tim Timmons. 3-2. James McCann waiting on deck. Tigers got a run in the first on the RBI hit by Cabrera. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Castellanos is out, and the Tigers go 1-2-3. They're on their way to the 5th inning. want to check out the highest slugging percentages in the major leagues, got a couple other guys on this list in this ballpark. Todd Frazier and Miguel Cabrera have two of the higher slugging percentages in the majors, led by Bryce Harper. What a year this guy had.
Yeah, Miguel, the only one representing the American League.
Well, it's going to be Todd Frazier to lead things off here in the fifth. Frazier, then Bruce, and then Brian Pena. Kyle Ryan been really good so far. 38 pitches through 4 innings. That's it. Ball high and away. Frazier has 38 extra base hits this year, which leads the major leagues. Popped up foul, back out of play. Todd's brother Jeff was a former Detroit Tiger who played briefly with the Tigers in 2010. Jeff came up in the minor league system with Detroit, was a 4th round pick of the Tigers. Todd has had a much more decorated big league career so far. The 1-1. 1-2 on Frazier.
Frazier was an all-star last year. He went to Minnesota. 29 homers, drove in 80 runs last year, and off to another really good year this season.
Solid .273 average as well. Here's the 1-2. Heading back to the seats and out of play. Frazier is a youngster. Played in the Little League World Series. He was a member of that 1998 Tom's River team that upset Japan in the championship game. And Frazier was the shortstop on that team and also closed out the championship game against Japan. Driven deep in the air to left field. Ball hit well. Cespedes back to the track, to the wall. We are tied up. It's a 1-1 game.
Talked about the fact that when Frazier came up the first time, you can't let him pull the ball. You have to make him hit the ball to right field or straightaway center field, especially here at Comerica Park.
Frazier hits his 19th of the year.
It's an 88-mile-per-hour cut fastball that misses over the heart of the plate and absolutely drilled by the Todd father.
We'll bring up Jay Bruce. Strike one to Bruce. So the 19 now is good for 3rd in the National League. Giancarlo Stanton with 23 bombs. He got 21 for Bryce Harper.
Second home run that Kyle Ryan has given up since coming up from Toledo.
Here's the 1-1. I think Avi Garcia was the other one in Chicago.
Might be right.
Yeah, he gave up that home run before departing, and then LaRoche hit the home run in the 9th to tie it up with 2 outs off Soria. 2-1 pitch. Sales outside. 3-1 now on Jay Bruce. Singled back in the second. He'll drive that one deep to right field. That is down the line to the corner. It goes, and that ball is fair. It's a home run for Jay Bruce. Back-to-back shots, and just like that, the Reds have the lead. That is Bruce's 10th.
Looked like another cut fastball that was left up in the strike zone, and Jay Bruce was able to keep it fair right inside the right field foul pole.
So Kyle Ryan was cruising along. His pitch count was in great shape, and now he's given up back-to-back homers here in the 5th inning and has given up the lead. Here's Brian Pena. Ball 1 to Pena. 2-1 Cincinnati.
And that home run by Frazier now gives him 499 career hits. So his next hit will be a milestone.
For as poor as the Reds have been offensively this year, they are second in the National League in homers. They now have 76, behind only the Dodgers. And they've used a pair of solo shots here in the fifth to go ahead. 50 now for Kyle Ryan. Two balls, one strike.
No disrespect to the Cincinnati Reds, but I would love to see some of these Tigers hitters get a chance to play in their ballpark for 81 games.
Yeah, balls tend to fly out there. Certainly a lot more than they do here.
And Joey Votto, their first baseman, had a 3-homer game about a week ago at Great American Ballpark.
Pena has a hack and he fouls it straight back, 3-2.
And Ryan needs to continue to work down in the strike zone as he was able to do for the first 4 innings of this game.
Chris Dominguez waiting on deck. Ryan had retired 7 straight prior to the back-to-back home runs. Frazier and Bruce. Chopper foul. Grounded left side of the infield. Iglesias on the charge. Off balance throw is in time. Pena is out. 1 away in the fifth.
Now here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch on Kyle Ryan. Top fastball, 90 miles an hour.
Here is Dominguez. He grounded to the shortstop and is only at bat 0 for 1. No balls, 1 strike on Dominguez. Former San Francisco Giant, spent most of his career in the minors with San Francisco, hit a ton of home runs in their system. That's it for a strike. Now it's 0-2. Just off the plate, a little bit outside. And you say that he held up on the check swing. Reds this year have hit 16 more home runs at home than they have on the road, which should be to no surprise to anyone. 2-2 is strike 3 call. Dominguez didn't like it. Second out of the inning. 3 strikeouts now for the lefty Ryan.
Kyle Ryan starts this cut fastball off the plate about 3 inches, and then it's given up by the hitter. And the ball just ever so slightly catches the outside corner, and it's pulled back over to the corner by James McCann.
Here is Billy Hamilton. He drops down a bunt, pushing it to first base. Cabrera's going to pick it up and tag him out. So they go 1-2-3 after the homers. Back-to-back shots by Frazier and Bruce. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire.
batter's box in the top half of the fourth inning. The ball was fouled off by Joey Votto, and a nice play by James McCann. The ball trickled off the glove. He found it alertly and was able to make the catch.
Well, the Tigers find themselves down for the first time tonight. 2-1 is our score. The Reds add lead on their back-to-back homers, and James McCann will lead it off. He'll be followed by Iglesias and then Ghosts.
And Lorenzen's thrown a lot of first pitch breaking balls to the Tigers hitters.
McCann had himself a walk at his first at bat, but now he's down 0-2. Lorenzen gave up a run in the first. He's had only one 1-2-3 inning in this game, and that was back in the fourth. Here's the 0-2. Pulled on the ground and through. It finds a hole. Leadoff single.
Even though that was a pretty good breaking ball thrown by Lorenzen, he's thrown so many and that McCann had an idea he was going to get one and went down to get a pretty good pitch. Hit it very hard in between the third baseman and the shortstop.
So here is Iglesias bouncing into a force to end the second inning. Iglesias takes ball one. 6-game hitting streak going down for the Tigers shortstop.
It's a nice hit and run count if Brad wants to put something on, but Lorenzen's been so erratic in the strike zone, you might not want to gamble here with Iglesias standing in the batter's box as hot as he's been.
Inside, 2 balls, no strikes on Iglesias. And he missed again. Now it's 3-0. So Lorenzen having trouble with the bottom of the Tigers lineup in this inning as Brian Pena runs out there to have a chat.
Absolutely the last thing that Brian Price, the manager of the Cincinnati Reds, wanted to see after his team was able to take the lead in the top half of the fifth inning. He threw an 0-2 pitch to James McCann, which got too much plate. He singled sharply to left, and now he's fallen behind Iglesias. 3 balls, no strikes.
3-1. Iglesias over his last 18 games batting at a .371 clip. And he drops down a bunt, third base side. Frazier, quick throw. Nice play.
He bunted it a little bit too hard. Nice heads up play by Frazier, but ball bunted way too hard by Jose Iglesias. When you're bunting down toward third, you want that ball to be stopped by the time it gets to the defender. That one was still rolling.
They have ruled that a sacrifice, so advance the runner to second. He was clearly bunting for a base hit.
No question about that.
Here's Ghost trying to drive in the game-tying run. And he'll slap it foul back out of play. 0-1. Anthony's been on base twice in this game, doubled, scored a run in the first. He singled in the third. 3 hits now in this series, plus a walk, a couple of steals. Lorenzen now has thrown 75 pitches in this game. Another one slapped back out of play. 0-2. McCann led the inning off with a walk. base hit, I should say. That's in the air toward left. Hit pretty good. Circling under it is DeJesus, and he can't handle it. Everybody is safe. Ghost goes to second. The Tigers are in business now. DeJesus was circling under that thing and just couldn't quite hold it in.
It's the third hit in that direction by Anthony Ghost. Actually, that ball was in his glove and fell out.
Sure was. He actually caught that ball but could not hold on to it. Tigers get a break there.
DeJesus is an infielder by trade, so it's not unusual for a guy that's really never played all that much outfield to take a poor route out there.
E7. Tigers a base hit away now from reclaiming the lead. Ball one. First error of the ball game for either side. McCann at third and Ghost at second. Popped him up. Right side of the infield. To the grass goes Phillips, and the runners will hold.
And Miggy about to get his 11th intentional free pass of the season.
Two gone. They catch 4 games at Comerica Park for as low as $73 with the new Detroit Tigers 4-packs. Choose 4 bobblehead giveaways, 4 fireworks nights, or 4 weekday matinee games. Call 313-471-2255 or visit Tigers.com. Ryan Pena holding up 4 fingers. They will walk Cabrera intentionally with first base open, and the crowd's not going to like this. Intentional walk will load the bases and give Cespedes a chance. Ball 3 outside. He'll give Cabrera 2 more than Mike Trout in the intentional walk category. And there's ball 4. So load the bases. And bring up Cespedes. There you go. Cabrera now with 11. Trout with 8. Mauer has, or Trout with 9 rather. Mauer has 8. So now we'll see if Cespedes can make him pay. Yoenis is 0 for 2.
And the one thing that Lorenzen has done a lot of here today, he has started a lot of the hitters off with that slow curveball. If you're Cespedes, you could sit on it for 1 pitch. Just 1.
Cespedes in his career hits .412 with the bases loaded.
He's been a real nice run producer since coming to the big leagues at the beginning of the 2012 season.
His 1 grand slam came this year against the White Sox here at Comerica. Just missed the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers trail 2-1. They've got them loaded with 2 outs. Kyle Ryan gave up back-to-back homers to Frazier and Bruce, surrendering the lead. Swinging a foul tip. They'll go to the backstop 1-2. So now Lorenzen 1 strike away from getting out of this jam. Started with a single, then an error, and then an intentional walk. Fouled away. Well, what about these 3 guys in the month of June? They've just gotten it done.
And J.D. Martinez checking in with a 283 average, but he's been playing a lot of long ball 3 consecutive days. He's homered. Cespedes has just been on fire, and Miguel, well, Miggy basically doing what he does every year.
Again, the 1-2. Right back up the middle, off the pitcher. It's going to go into foul territory. This might score 2 runs. Throw to the plate, and he is out at home plate.
I think they might challenge that one. It looked like he might have got that left foot in there before the tag.
There is no doubt Brad's going to look at this.
That was very scary because the bat was right in the area where Ghost was going to slide. Frazier has that bat in his hand. He just picked it up. So very scary play.
I think Ghost might have gotten in here. And they're going to challenge him. So Mike Everett made the out call, but let's take another look at this. Tigers will challenge. So Everett, who made the call, will come over and put on the headsets, along with Tim Welke, the crew chief.
Paul Lassard, the trainer for the Cincinnati Reds, is going to come out and check on Lorenzen. And he got absolutely smoked on that line drive. Man, that bat, dangerous. You see him slide over that bat?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It's a high tag by Brian Pena, and the only he looks safe to me.
He's safe. I mean, he's safe, and that's a really good view of it too. That would give the Tigers the lead again.
And a lot of times that left foot will be in the air, which will cause the umpire to call the hitter out, but the base runner. But he had to slide right over the bat.
Well, that angle makes it look a little bit closer, but I think clearly he was in there. Everett had a great look at it. It was right on top of that play.
The Tigers tied the score. They may go ahead.
Yeah, at the very least, it's an RBI single for Cespedes that never left the infield. Will it be a 2-run single? We shall wait and see what they rule in New York. The call on the field is out at home plate. Tigers, at the very least, will get 1 run out of this. Meanwhile, they continue to take a look at every angle that they have available to them. There's an additional umpiring crew in New York right now that is taking a look at all of these replays, and they will relay their decision to Tim Welke, who is the umpire on the left. This one's taken some time.
It is one of the more lengthier ones that we've had this year.
How did he possibly avoid that bat?
He jumped over it. You can tell that he saw the bat right in front of him. He kind of slid over it.
And they called him out. So it gives Cespedes a single and an RBI. Ghost is out at the plate to end the inning. However, the Tigers are able to tie the ball game up. 2-2 game. End of 5. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. And by Bud Light, stay in the game and drink responsibly. Kyle Ryan goes back to the hill. It's a 2-2 ball game now as Christopher Negron leads it off. RBI single by Cespedes tied it up. Anthony Ghost ruled out at home plate. Ryan breaks home the 0-1. Negron takes way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I didn't mind that gamble by Anthony Ghost one bit. He took an outstanding play, heads up play, and for them to get him out at home plate, especially with all his speed.
A little bit outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yeah, I agree. I think that he read it beautifully. Never broke stride around third, and it was extremely close, but eventually ruled out.
And replay took 3 minutes and 38 seconds.
Ooh. It's got to be one of the longest we've had this year.
Yep.
2-2 on Negron. Brandon Phillips waiting on deck. So Ryan, after giving up the home runs in the 5th, watching his teammates get that run back that they needed to tie it up. A little bounce in there. Fill it now. 3-2 on Negron. Reds managed only 2 hits in last night's ball game. They have 3 in tonight's game, but 2 of them are homers. Ground ball to third. Straight at Castellanos. 1 out of the 6th. We'll bring up Brandon Phillips. Phillips is 0 for 2. Ground ball, fly ball for Phillips. He is the Reds' all-time leader in hits, doubles, homers, and RBIs from the second base position. He shoots one on the ground, just out of the reach of a diving Iglesias. 1 out single, time for a game break. Mickey York. All right, Mick, thank you. Here it is 2-2 in the 6th inning.
You know, you were talking about Brandon Phillips and all the categories for a second baseman that he leads the Reds in their history. All-Star at second base. His .990 career fielding percentage is the best in Major League history.
Great two-way player.
History.
History's a long time, isn't it?
I mean, that just kind of puts it all into perspective.
DeJesus stands in there, and he takes the ball outside.
Brandon has stolen a few bags this year. He swiped 8. He's been caught once, but he's been battling a sore leg. So that and the fact that Ryan's left-handed, which might limit the jump that he might get, he may not vacate first base.
The Indians once had Phillips. He came over in that deal for Bartolo Colon, along with Grady Sizemore.
He couldn't get along with Eric Wedge, and they traded him to Cincinnati, where he has just gone on to have a marvelous career. That was a great trade by the Cleveland Indians back in the day. They traded Bartolo Colon to the Montreal Expos, and they got Lee in return, Sizemore, and Phillips.
And Ryan will go back to the bag, and easily back in there is Phillips.
And Grady started his career making all-star teams. He had Grady's ladies in Cleveland.
That's the most important thing.
You know it. Don't get it twisted.
Numbers don't mean anything, man.
And Cliff Lee, he went on to win a Cy Young. And we talked about Phillips, so that was a good trade by the Cleveland Indians back in the day.
He was spinning his wheels that time, and he just got back. Tim Timmons made an emphatic call at first. Two 2-0 the count on Ivan DeJesus Jr. It's a 2-2 game in the 6th. In there for a strike, 2-1. DeJesus' dad played for the Tigers in 1988. That was the final year of his career. It was a career in which he put up really good numbers along the way. Over 1,100 hits in the big leagues. Again on the outer edge. 2-2. One on, one out. We're in the 6th.
If you're Kyle Ryan, you want contact here on the 2-2 pitch. You do not want to run the count to 3-2. And the reason for that, the count 3-2 with one out, I don't think Brian Price, the manager, would be all that afraid to start Brandon Phillips from first base, which would take the double play out of the equation.
Fouled away. Ryan, this is his 3rd big league start. His previous 2 came against the White Sox, both on the road, one last year and one this year. And he really pitched well in both of those in a tough pitcher's ballpark.
Should have got the win in that last start that he made in Chicago. Tigers took a tough loss that night as a team.
Safety hack there, emergency hack to send it back to the seats. 2-2 the count stays. Ryan won 10 games in the minors last year, earning his big league call up. Kyle went to high school at Auburndale High School, just outside of Lakeland. 2010 draft choice of the Tigers. Swing and a miss, and he finally is able to take care of DeJesus. It'll be his 4th strikeout of the ball game.
Continue to throw DeJesus two-seam fastball after two-seam fastball, finally elevating one up that was out of the strike zone that DeJesus couldn't lay off of. What do you got on Ryan Sideburns?
I was afraid you were going to ask.
A little lengthy, right?
He's got 75 total pitches in this game, Ron. They are a little lengthy. But that's his style. That's what he likes.
Absolutely. It's the big leagues.
That's right. You do what you want here.
Look good, you feel good. Feel good, you play good. You play good, they pay you good.
And VOTTO drives one in the air toward left field in the corner. Cespedes is on the move, and he'll run it down.
And he's been playing good, Cespedes.
No runs and a hit, 1 man left. JD Martinez, he's been red hot. He'll start things off in the bottom of the 6th. Michael Lorenzen goes back at the hill. And JD Martinez stands in. Strike 1 on Martinez.
Lorenzen has been giving JD Martinez a steady diet of those slow benders here tonight. That last one at 78 miles an hour. And JD Martinez has homered in the last 3 games, clobbering fastballs.
Collins will follow, and then Castellanos. 5, 6, and 7 in Brad Ausmus lineup for this one.
Lorenzen still throwing hard. He is topped out at 96 miles an hour here tonight.
Swing and a miss.
Good off-speed pitch there. Looked like a changeup. Not afraid to throw his changeup to right-handed batters, which is rare for a youngster. And most young pitchers are a little afraid to throw their changeup to the righties.
Now he's evened it at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shot back out of play.
It's a nice spoil there by Martinez. That's a really good pitch. It's 95. It probably would have been called a strike. All you can do is foul it off.
Broken bat toward the shortstop to the outfield grass. Throw going to be late by Negron. That's an infield hit.
That bat died a hero. Here's our Comerica Bank game summary. Tigers took the lead very early in this game, the very first inning. They battled back the Cincinnati Redlegs. The Todd father, Todd Frazier, played long ball, and then the very next batter, Jay Bruce, he did the same thing. Tigers were able to tie the score up in the next half inning for them. Bases loaded, Yohan Cespedes hit one off the pitcher. Heads up play by the first baseman, VOTTO, to throw out Ghost, who was attempting to score all the way from second base.
Go-ahead run is on now as Collins stands in. Tyler is 0 for 2, couple of pop-ups in this game, showing bunt. He'll drop it to first base. VOTTO going to go to second. They'll get one there. Relay not in time.
That's real nice court awareness by Joey VOTTO, who was holding on the runner, but still vacated his position in a hurry and made a nice play second base, getting J.D. Martinez.
The only
way you make this play is you think about it right away. You don't hesitate.
Bring up Castellanos now with a man at first, one out. And a tough night for Nick. 0 for 2, strikeout, flyout. And he looks at strike one.
Nick's just kind of caught in between right now. First 2 times up, he was swinging at breaking balls on the very first pitch. And then this time up, he gets a 92-mile-per-hour fastball right down the middle that he takes. Nick just going through one of those stretches that all big league hitters go through.
That slap foul back out of play.
And it seems like every time you go to the dish, you're behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes when you're having a difficult time.
Tigers about hit the Reds tonight, 6-4.
Really no need for the Tigers to push the panic button with Castellanos. You know he can hit. You also have a very good offensive team, and he's not really hurting your team's production. He's not keeping you from winning games, and therefore you can wait Castellanos out until he picks it up again.
McCann due next. Castellanos this year has hit 4 over the boards, and he's knocked in 26. Runner goes, and a bouncer foul. Castellanos, by all accounts, had a really solid first year in the major leagues last season.
Had it not been for Abreu of the Chicago White Sox, he would have gotten some serious consideration for Rookie of the Year. Castellanos.
Nick knocked in 66, 11 homers last year. It's Wally Joyner. Happy birthday, by the way, to Wally Joyner. Celebrating one today. The 1-2. Drilled to the shortstop. Nice play. Negron to second one. And that's how it's going for Castellanos. Even when he hits it hard, it turns into a 6-4-3. Go to the 7th. It comes to Fox and Fox Sports 1 for the first time as the greatest golfers in the world converge on the Pacific Northwest for a chance to stamp their names in the history books. Our exclusive coverage of the 115th U.S. Open Championship live from Chambers Bay Golf Course begins June 18th on Fox Sports 1, Fox, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Well, we're headed to the 7th here. It is still a 2-2 tie. And the first pitch off the bat of Frazier is hammered to left center field. And he has just hit his second home run of this game. Todd Frazier to left center to make it 3-2. 20th of the year for Frazier.
39th extra base hit of the season for Todd Frazier.
Now he's just 3 behind Stanton for the league lead.
Kyle Ryan came into this contest tonight having given up only 1 run. And that fastball center cut. And right down the middle for Frazier, and he didn't miss it.
5 hits in this game for the Reds, and 3 of them are homers. 3-2 Cincinnati. Jay Bruce went back-to-back with Frazier in his last at bat. 1 ball, 1 strike. Frazier now 41 RBIs as well. Ryan missing low, 2-1.
For a guy that has 39 extra base hits, 20 of those homers, and 40 RBIs, not that many.
No, not at all. That's in there for a strike. 2-2 on Jay Bruce. Single and a homer tonight for Bruce. He came in 2 for his last 18. And he comes into this one and gets 2 hits off a lefty. That's outside. 3-2. And he lost it. Ball 4.
And Tiger's going to have to get some activity in their bullpen.
Yep, there goes the telephone. And Brad Osses making a call to the bullpen. The Reds have some action as well in their bullpen. Matthews warming up. Meanwhile, it's going to be Jeff Jones coming out to the mound to buy some time.
Matthews spells his name a little differently. Use the U instead of the W.
Ryan likes to be a little bit different. Tigers have some action of their own right now as Wilson begins to heat up. And we tell you to join us again tomorrow. The Tigers head to Cincinnati to take on these Reds. Our coverage begins at 6 with Tigers Live. Tigers Reds tomorrow from Great American Ballpark at 6 on Fox Sports Detroit.
Tomorrow's pitching matchup is going to be an outstanding one. That would be Johnny Cueto of the Cincinnati Reds. He's their ace. He's one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. And Tigers fans, you know what David Price brings to the dance every 5th day.
There's Price getting set for his start tomorrow night. Brian Pena is up there now. He tipped off that he wants to bunt as Ryan throws to first.
Of the 20 home runs that Todd Frazier, their third baseman, has hit this year, 15 of them have been solo shots. So he hasn't gotten it done when there's been runners on base.
15?
Or there haven't been that many runners on base for him. Yeah.
Well,
15 of the 20.
That's a lot. And again, Pena showing bunt. And again, Kyle goes to first base.
I think Pena might be bluffing.
Think so?
We'll see.
He's got Castellanos coming in on the grass at third, maybe. And again, back to the bag. might be right, because you don't normally see big league hitters tip what they're going to do. I mean, most of them anticipate that there will be a throw to first base.
He does have one sack bunt this year, but usually you don't bunt the guy over when the latter third of your batting order is coming up. And the next hitter's batting 200.
Yep, he's going to drop it down first base line. McCann's going to pick it up. So Pena gets it done with the sacrifice.
Nice job by Brian Pena.
They'll put a runner at second with 1 out. That's going to be it. Ryan coming out of the game. Here comes Brad Ausmus. This will be the second visit, which means a pitching change is forthcoming. So Kyle will go 6 1/3 in this start. The runner at second, his responsibility. Wilson coming in. Wallside Windows pitching change will return to Comerica.
Got off to a really nice start, got a lot of ground balls, get a double play that was turned behind him. Didn't really run into any trouble whatsoever in this particular game until the 5th inning, when he gave up back-to-back solo shots, and he gave up one more home run in the game. But by and large, it was a decent outing tonight, turned in by Kyle.
He is hopeful now that Wilson can strand that runner at second base. Here are the numbers on Alex.
Wilson has been exceptional this year, pitching out of the Tigers bullpen. A 1.74 earned run average, 17 strikeouts, and he's only walked 4, and his whip is well under 1. Pitching in his 20th game since coming up from Toledo.
First one is in there to Dominguez.
That's what he has done a lot of, and has been very impressive in doing so. Wilson, lots of first pitch strikes when he comes in.
Dominguez 0 for 2, strikeout, ground out. Little chopper to the shortstop. Iglesias off balance throw up the line, but the tag is made by Miggy. Advancing to third is the base runner Bruce.
Nice communication between Iglesias and Castellanos. Castellanos called off by Iglesias. Iglesias flips underneath, which pulled Miggy off the bag. Nice tag applied by Miggy as Dominguez ran by.
Two outs for Billy Hamilton. Reds are taking the lead on the Frazier home run, his second of the night. Little pop up back a short. Iglesias on a sprint, and it's going to drop right in front of Cespedes for a 2-out RBI single for Hamilton. Bruce scores, and it's now a 4-2 ball game. So that run will be charged to Ryan. His line is now complete.
Well, you know Hamilton's going to steal second base, so if you're Wilson, you don't pay too much attention to him. McCann, as you called him last night, he's got a very strong arm behind the plate, but the kid on first base right now has already stolen 31. He's not afraid of anybody.
No, he's not. He has been caught just 4 times all year.
He simply is one of the fastest players in the game.
Negron batting with 2 outs, runner at first. 4-2 ball game now. Reds have the lead. There he goes. Here comes the throw, and it is in time. McCann put him down.
James.
5 caught stealings now for Hamilton. James McCann fires a bullet. They get Hamilton, and the inning is over. Reds will not challenge this play. Coming up, the McLaren Health Plan 7th inning stretch.
Now Billy Hamilton, who got a pretty good jump, real nice exchange by McCann, tag applied by Ian Kinsler. What a throw.
And you said it best when you said Hamilton's not afraid of anybody.
No, he's going to run no matter what, but this is an outstanding throw by James McCann, and the Tigers got themselves a really good-looking young catcher.
Hamilton called out, and so the Reds get 2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. And Ryan Matthews in a wall side windows pitching chain.
And pitching in his 14th game, 3.46 earned run average for Matthews. His whip is 1.31.
Shattered bat for McCann, splintered.
And McCann has one of those cupped bats where the end of the bat is shallow, and that's what happens when you hit one right off the end.
It'll be McCann, Iglesias, and then Ghosts. 8-9-1. Tigers now trailing 4-2 as we play here in the bottom of the 7th. McCann looks at the ball inside. 1-1. Ryan Matthews coming out of the national system. Big league time with the Nats from 2011 through last year. And misses. 2 balls, 1 strike. We're wondering about the Reds bullpen. They are ranked 13th in the National League. Their ERA is well over 4. Here's the 2-1.
There is, however, one guy down there the Tigers do not want to see.
No doubt. The guy at the end.
And that would be Aroldis Chapman.
McCann, a single and a walk in this game. And just missed, and the count goes 3-2.
There he is.
He doesn't throw too hard, does he?
100 miles an hour with his fastball with regularity.
Bouncing ball to short. Negron has it there, and McCann is out, 1 gone. We'll bring up Iglesias. So the starter, Lorenzen, goes 6 and throws 100 pitches before giving way to Matthews. Iggy tonight with ground ball and a sac bunt. Batting .339. See if he can get it started here for the top of the lineup. Little pop-up foul back out of play. 0-1. Bouncer back up the middle, but they hadn't played nicely. Phillips will throw out Iglesias, and there are 2 gone. Matthews gets a couple of ground ball outs. Now here's the top of the lineup, Anthony Gose. Been on base 3 times in this game, single, double, error. Three hits in the series for Gose. Drops down a bunt. First base side, Matthews, shovel toss, and a barehanded play by VOTTO. That'll end the inning.
That was a nice play all the way around.
1, 2, 3, go the Tigers.
I'm taking my right foot and I'm trying to go to the middle of the tee, but it's got to be short and quick. The longer your foot travels, the more you're going to have to let this foot travel, which is slower. You catch the ball and it's more of a wrist turn. So in your transfer, it's here, almost like a bow and arrow. If you're shooting a bow and arrow, it's like this, versus a lot of young catchers want to transfer like that, and that's going to slow you down.
That is our 1-800 Call Sam call of the game. James McCann spending some time with Matt Shepard explaining his footwork when throwing out base stealers.
Great tutorial there for all the young catchers that are watching tonight.
Like a bow and arrow, he said, just kind of getting that right arm close to the glove and just pull it back and let it go.
Have you ever heard that before?
Never heard that before.
Interesting. Well, Negron leads it off as we play in the 8th inning, 4-2 in favor of the Reds. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Christopher Negron. There is more action in the Tigers bullpen. Ian Kroll, the lefty. Al Albuquerque is the righty. 1-2 on Negron. Phillips and then to Jesus to follow. Wilson came on in the 7th inning in place of Ryan. Got a ground out but gave up an RBI single. Swing and a miss.
Here's one more look at the throw out to last half inning by James McCann. Take a look at the right hand and how close he has it to the glove, and how there's very little, he doesn't have to go very far to get that glove to the hand and turn the body to throw the speedy Billy Hamilton out.
There's the old bow and arrow. Perfect execution, perfect throw. So with one out, here is Brandon Phillips. Each ball club tonight with 6 hits. Well, there's the 7th now for the Reds. And Phillips is 2 out of 4 tonight. You can tell Phillips still being bothered by that strained groin that he's had the last couple of days.
He's a gamer, though. I mean, he's very competitive. He loves to win. Plays the game very hard.
He's on with 1 on, 1 out. Here is to Jesus. 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts. Ball 1. 2 runs to the 5th and 2 in the 7th for the Reds. They've regained the lead. They've hit 3 homers tonight, 2 by Todd Frazier. Slice to center field. That's going to drop in, base hit. Phillips on his way to second will pull in there gingerly. 2 on now with 1 out.
Tough decision for Jim Riggleman, the third base coach, on a base hit, with the fact that Phillips is not running all that well. Cespedes has a cannon in left. Ghost has a very good arm in center field as well. So he's going to have to make sure Phillips can score.
In the meantime, Ian Kroll being called in with Joey Votto coming up. That'll be it for Wilson. We'll step aside as Kroll comes trotting in. It's the White Sox at 108, and the first 10,000 fans receive a free Victor Martinez bobblehead. If you'd like tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or go online, tigers.com, and score yourself a Vic Martinez bobblehead.
Brett Ausmus said that Victor, regardless of whether they activate him on Friday or not in New York, he will join the team.
Vic doing some pretty good work in his rehab assignments. Well, here is VOTTO now facing Kroll in a 4-2 ball game, 2 men on. And VOTTO looks at a ball up and in.
Shane Green made his first start in the minors tonight too. He pitched 7 in a third and did not give up a run.
Well, that's good. Very encouraging.
Tigers are hoping that that little stay down in the minor leagues for Green will benefit him as much as the one they sent Max Scherzer and Porcello on when they were struggling as starters.
Well, Green certainly showed that he could do it. His first 3 starts, he was untouchable.
For sure.
So we know it's there.
Yep.
Just got to get it back. Meanwhile, VOTTO was ahead 2-0. And he'll take a rip and foul it back 2-1. 4 runs on 8 hits for the Reds, 2 runs, 6 hits for the Tigers. The scene will shift to Cincinnati tomorrow night to start 2 games there. In the meantime, Phillips and Jesus, the base runners.
Too bad we don't have an evening in Cincinnati to go to dinner. They've got one of my favorite restaurants there, Montgomery Inn.
Inside, the count goes to 3-1. Those ribs at the Montgomery Inn.
Yeah.
I mean, they give some of that Kansas City barbecue a run for their money.
They sure do.
(3-1) on VOTTO. Three and 2 on Joey VOTTO.
Then again, we might be able to sneak over there for lunch.
That's a good point.
But then we'd be falling asleep.
Well, that's another good point.
When we got to the yard.
Yeah, you need an off day for that. You just have to dive in to those ribs. 3-2 on VOTTO. Frazier waiting on deck.
Kroll's best pitch is the breaking ball.
And he walked him, and that's going to load the bases.
It's going to do it for Ian Kroll as well.
So Kroll comes in to face one batter, the lefty, but he walked it. And now with Frazier coming up, a guy that's already hit 2 home runs in this game. Brad wants Albuquerque. Got ourselves another pitch and change. We'll be back.
was absolutely cruising until the 4th inning when he gave up back-to-back home runs to Todd Frazier and Jay Bruce.
Well, there's more trouble afoot here as Albuquerque comes in with the bases loaded.
Well, this much we can promise you. If Frazier's going to hit another home run, he's going to have to take one of those slide pieces down and away from him, from Albuquerque, and hit it back to left field.
They're loaded up with Phillips, DeJesus, and VOTTO on the bags.
About 7 out of every 10 pitches that Albuquerque throws are sliders.
And he gets ahead with one there, 0-1. Frazier, homer to the 5th, homer to the 7th. He is 2 out of 3. 20 home runs on the season now for Frazier. Swing and a miss.
Of the 20 homers, 15 solo shots. Outstanding slide piece there thrown by Albuquerque.
Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and that didn't take long. Frazier goes down on 3 pitches, and there are 2 gone.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. All 3 sliders located outside to Frazier.
Would it be appropriate to say down goes Frazier?
I was thinking the exact same thing. You got to give it a little bit more, though. You got to give it a little bit more.
Down goes Frazier.
There you go.
2 gone now. Here's Jay Bruce.
Those were some epic, epic heavyweight fights back in the day.
Bruce takes ball 1. He also homered. That was back in the 5th. He's also walked and singled on base 3 times tonight. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Albuquerque trying to put out the fire here in the 8th. They're loaded with 2 outs. It all started with a 1-out single by Phillips. Good pickup there by McCann. 2-1.
Very difficult when you get a fastball at 93 that is down. You're not expecting to have to block it.
Ground ball right side, right at Kinsler. That's going to put out the fire. They threaten to do not score. A couple of singles, a walk. They leave them loaded. Nice job, Albuquerque. Back here at Comerica Park as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning on a gorgeous night for baseball. Right now the Reds have a 4-2 lead, but the Tigers have the heavy artillery coming up, and they will face a new pitcher. It'll be J.J. Hoover.
And Hoover has 3 holds. He checks in with a 1.59 earned run average, so he's been getting it done in that regard, but he has walked 13, so it looks like he can get a little erratic in the strike zone.
Drops in a breaking ball to start things off here in the bottom of the 8th.
That is the exact same thing that Michael Lorenzen did, their starter for 6 innings. He threw quite a few breaking balls up there to Tigers hitters on the very first pitch.
Now he's gone ahead 0-2. 4 runs on 8 hits for the Reds. Tigers have 2 runs on 6 hits. Hoover's 0-2 is high. Kinsler did not chase after that ball out of the strike zone.
Here's a situation where Hoover will have to face tougher hitters than the closer will have to face in the 9th inning if the score stays the same.
I was thinking the exact same thing. You've got this hammer at the end of your pen and Aroldis Chapman, but it's going to be Hoover that's got to do the heavy lifting. Kinsler has 0 for 3 tonight. He's got a couple of fly balls. He's also hit into a force. Here's the 2-2. That is popped up foul. Heading back to the seats.
And coming into play tonight, the Tigers offense had scored 44 runs in their last 8 games. And they've been slowed down a little bit here tonight.
Tigers got a run early, an RBI single by Cabrera, and then Cespedes knocked one in the 5th. And again the 2-2. Again fouled, back into the seats. Tigers need a base runner here. Bring Cabrera up there with a chance to tie it. Miggy on base 3 times tonight, was walked intentionally once. Another foul back out of play, making Hoover work.
94 with the fastball thrown by Hoover, 84 with his breaking ball. That's a nice 10-mile-per-hour differential as far as speeds are concerned.
Hoover, originally property of the Braves, was traded for by Cincinnati back in 12. Did not go.
Brian Pena, the catcher, tried to sell it.
Tim Timmons not buying.
Nope, he wasn't buying it.
3-2 now on Kinsler.
It's been a good at bat. And for Ian, he's about to see his 9th pitch.
Drilled toward left field and caught on the run by DeJesus. Hit it hard, but DeJesus tracks it down. 1 gone. Fans, don't forget you can follow the Tigers all season long in 2015 with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, and a whole lot more. Get at Bat for your smartphone or your tablet. Here is Cabrera. RBI single in the 1st inning. Swing and a miss. First out for Hoover, a big out. Facing Cabrera here, guarding a 2-run lead with the bases empty.
It was a good at bat, and turned in by Ian. And Miguel leading the American League in hitting with .346 batting average. He's already won 3 batting titles.
Chamberlain Soria, the duo warming up with the Detroit bullpen. Here's the 1-1. Outside, 2-1. There's Cespedes waiting on deck. That one missed. So it's 3-1 now. High fly ball center field. Hamilton going back, still running back out there and tracks it down. 2 gone. The crowd oohs and ahs as that ball sailed out there.
That ball just continued to travel into right center field. Hamilton probably thought it was going to be an easier play for him, but he just kept running and running and running. I don't think maybe he barreled that one up the way he did last couple of days. I think that one was down the label a little bit.
2 up, 2 down. Here is Cespedes. Yoenis singled off the pitcher's leg back in the 5th inning, picked up an RBI. 1 for 3. Ball 1 is Cespedes, who now has a 10-game hitting streak. Another bender that misses outside. 2-0 on Cespedes. Hoover trying to maneuver his way through the middle of the Tigers lineup here. That's in there. Tigers have another guy on deck who can hit the ball out, and J.D. Martinez. Swing and a miss. Ball was up 2-2.
Yeah, he left the strike zone there. 94 with that fastball thrown by Hoover.
High fly ball. This will stay in play as DeJesus camps under it, and Hoover gets 3 fly ball outs. 8 innings complete. Let's go to the 9th. So the Tigers in danger of falling 4 back if the 2 scores hold up. Jabba Chamberlain now coming out of the bullpen for the Tigers.
And Jabba pitching in his 23rd game this year out of the Tigers bullpen. Very good earned run average at 1.13. Jabba features a fastball that will top out at 95. He's got a couple of breaking balls. The curveball and the slider, and he will use a changeup only on occasion.
Here is the upcoming matchup presented by Gordon Chevrolet. We kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. The matchup tomorrow night in the first game in Cincinnati, Price and Cueto.
Well, both guys are going to go very deep in the game. That much we do know. Price, every time he goes out there, he goes at least 7 innings. And since the beginning of the 2014 season, Cueto in 28 starts in the 2 years, 2 earned runs or less in 7 innings pitched.
Here's Brian Pena as we go to the 9th. Question is, can the Reds hold on to Johnny Cueto?
I think they have to move Cueto. I don't think they have enough money to afford him beyond this year. He's a free agent. And if they were going to sign him, they probably would have signed him a long time ago.
Pena, Dominguez, Hamilton here in the 9th inning. Jabba Chamberlain taking over.
There are a lot of the baseball people out there that are talking about Aroldis Chapman, who's now up in the bullpen for the Cincinnati Reds.
Hard hit ball on one hop to Kinsler.
They say if Walt Jocketty decides to trade Chapman, he will get more for him than any other player that is traded at the trade deadline this year.
Really?
Any other player.
More than Cueto?
More than Cueto. Chapman still has a year on his contract. And Cueto, you're just renting him.
Good point. Aroldis getting ready for the bottom of the 9th. He'll bring his 100-mile-an-hour fastball into Comerica Park. Here's Dominguez. He drops in for a strike 0-1 on Dominguez. A couple of grounders and a strikeout for the Reds at right fielder. The Tigers in the bottom of the 9th have Martinez, Collins, Castellanos due up. Popped up foul, back out of play. Tigers tonight have been out hit 8-6 and outscored 4-2.
Collins more than likely will be pinch hit for. Rajay Davis might have to grab a bat.
How fun would it be to pinch hit against Aroldis Chapman?
You better start getting loose now.
He's sitting on the bench all night. Here's the 0-2. Little chopper to third base. It's a fair ball, and it's going to get by Castellanos. Dominguez is going to go to second base. Nick tried to barehand it and then rolled by him. This might have caught the base at third.
Yeah, it looked like he had himself in a pretty good position to make the play, and it hits the bag and stays down, and he just doesn't and cannot get down low enough to make that play. Had it not hit the bag, I think Castellanos makes the play. Now, whether he gets the out at first base or not is another story.
Big runner standing at second base now. Here's Hamilton, who drove in a huge run in the 7th, 2-out bloop single to make it 4-2. Ball 1.
I read an article today where Billy Hamilton is contemplating scrapping switch hitting. He is struggling so much batting left-handed this year that he's thinking about not doing it anymore. He said he would not make the change during the course of the regular season, however. And the Reds are behind him 100%, but they say that they would prefer that he continue to switch hit, and they'll just work their way through it.
When you have a guy that has as much speed as Hamilton, that's one of the first things they want, is to have that guy learn to switch hit.
Yeah, he just needs to master staying on top of the ball and hitting it on the ground. You see his numbers against right-handed pitching. Only 207.
He's ahead 2-0. The count goes to 3-0 on Hamilton.
It was a couple of years ago, Aaron Hicks of the Minnesota Twins, he scrapped switch hitting momentarily.
Jabba now ready with the 3-0 pitch. Hamilton will take it. 3-1. Negron waiting on deck. 4-2. Reds lead here in the ninth. Tigers wrapping up their homestand. Little chopper, shortstop side, and Iglesias shovels it to third. Bad choice. That's going to score a run. And a huge run at that. It's 5-2 Reds.
Yeah, that's going to be the fourth error of the season for Iglesias. He shuffled the ball to Nick Castellanos and right off the back of Dominguez.
E6. It's the first error of the game for the Tigers, but a huge run now makes it a 3-run game.
That may have been, and I don't know unless we take another peek at the replay, but with Hamilton running down the line, that may have been the only play Iglesias could have made.
Here is Negron now with the runner at second. Hamilton went all the way to second on that play. That misses inside. 1-0.
Hamilton was thrown out to his last time up attempting to steal second base. It was only the 5th time he'd been caught this year. He has 31 steals. Of the 31 steals, 9 have been of third base. He's 9 of 9 in steals of third.
One ball, one strike on Negron. Well, if he's entertaining thoughts of stealing third here and makes it, all it would take is a fly ball to score him. Negron, couple of ground outs and a strikeout. Job of chasing him back. This time he'll throw it down there, and he got him. Hamilton picked off second base.
Todd Tishner made that call. It's a nice job of turning and firing to Kinsler. Tag applied, and by Ian.
Reds trying to decide whether or not they want to challenge. Hamilton dancing off the bag. Chamberlain, quick move. And they're going to challenge, it appears. So we'll get another challenge here. Hamilton, for the time being, is called out in a 5-2 ball game. We'll see if he stays in the dugout. I think they might get clearer replays on this play than they did in the earlier challenge on the slide at home plate. Looked like he might have gotten in there before the tag. Hamilton had a look of surprise when he was called out. May just have beaten the tag by Kinsler. Tim Wilkie waiting for the call. The last challenge, what did that take? 338. 338 on that play at home plate. Anthony Ghost was eventually called out. They upheld the call on the field. We'll see what they do with this one. Called him out. So we'll see if that turns out to be a huge play. Bases are empty.
And rough base running night for the speedster Billy Hamilton. Thrown out and picked off.
So there are 2 outs now. But the Reds have gotten a big run. They lead 5-2. Here's a bunt. Jabba comes off to make the play and throws him out. Negron is out, and so are the Reds. They get a big run, though, and we go to the bottom of the 9th. Here comes Chapman. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. When it's time, come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. And by 5-Hour Energy Shots. Have you tried great tasting 5-Hour Energy Shots lately? Last call for the Tigers. We go to the bottom of the 9th here at the ballpark. 5 runs, 9 hits, Reds. 2 runs, 6 hits, Tigers. And now the Tigers going to have to come back against flame-throwing lefty Aroldis Chapman, who takes the mound for Cincy.
And Chapman with 47 strikeouts in 29 games this year. He's got a fastball that will get all the way up to about 102 miles an hour.
It'll be J.D. Martinez to lead it off, and then Rajai Davis, who has moved to the on-deck circle. Then Castellanos. J.D. is 1 for 5 against Chapman in his career. Three-run lead for the Reds. Way outside 1-0 at 101 miles an hour. That's in for a strike. Took something off in 99. 1-1 the count.
As scouts will tell you, Aroldis Chapman, well, he's what they look like.
Swing and a miss, threw it right by him at 101. 1-2 on JD. Chapman 36 saves last year, a pair of 38 save seasons the previous 2 years. Swing and a miss. So Martinez is down, 1 gone here in the 9th.
We were talking last half inning about the possibility of them trading Chapman and Cueto. if they trade both guys, they could definitely get themselves really good players in return, and they would be very healthy for the 2016 season.
There's Johnny Cueto. He will pitch tomorrow night against David Price. I can't imagine what the haul would be for both of those guys.
Well, you got to give up all-stars. It won't be a prospect deal, especially for Chapman.
Davis will pinch hit. Rajai is 1 for 10 as a pinch hitter this year.
Slider at 87 thrown there by Chapman.
VOTTO at first is on the grass. Everybody else is back. 1-1.
I don't know why VOTTO is playing in so close. The Tigers are trailing by 3. And it doesn't usually present to a bunt situation.
Held up. And it's outside 2-1 on Rajai.
And when a guy's throwing 100 miles an hour, more than likely Davis is going to be a little late on that fastball. He probably slap it right by him.
Yeah, you definitely cut down that angle by moving in. Fouled away. 2-2 on Davis. Now VOTTO backs up with 2 strikes to the count. Swing and a miss, man. Up at the letters, and Rajai just could not hold back. 2 strikeouts, and right now we check in with Trevor Thompson, a preview of tonight's Tigers Live.
Well, Mario, that's the Tigers Live that Rod and yourself will be a part of as you give your analysis of today's game. Jack Morse is also in studio alongside Craig Monroe. We'll get Brad Ausmus's thoughts on this game against the Reds. It looks like Aroldis Chapman is having himself a close here, so we'll see how it plays out with the Tigers needing a couple more runs to get back in this. Back up to you.
All right, Trev, thanks. And the Tigers' last chance now is Nick Castellanos. And he takes strike 1 as Chapman pours in a strike. Nick 0 for 3. Hit into a double play and a sharply hit ball his last time up. Foul tip for strike 2, and now Chapman 1 strike away from ending this one.
Just about every fastball he's thrown has been 99 and above. The majority of them triple digits.
Hey, Castellanos loops one out to left center field, drops it in for a base hit.
And Chapman tried to get cute.
So the Tigers are still alive. Castellanos, the look on his face.
A couple of fastballs that were about 101 miles per hour, and he comes back with a 90-mile-per-hour breaking ball that Castellanos was able to single sharp in the left field on.
Here's McCann now with 2 outs. Need another base runner. McCann, a single and a walk. And there goes Castellanos. He'll take second base, or try to, but it's fouled off. 0-1 on McCann.
Reds outfield continues to back up. They're playing no doubles depth now. They don't want to allow James to hit anything over their heads.
And the 0-1. Castellanos goes again. Swing and a miss.
Nice slide piece there thrown by Chapman. Best one he's thrown today. That one he got on top of. He released it out in front, and he had some nice depth on it. That Randy Johnson back foot slider there. They tried to make him a starter a couple of years ago. Didn't go all that well, so he's back in the bullpen these days.
Now the 0-2 off the mask. McCann stays alive. Checking in on Pena.
Chapman hurt himself on that last pitch. I don't know exactly what he did, but he did something.
Trying to stretch it out right now.
Something with that right leg.
Oh, 2. Just off the plate.
103.
Oh my goodness.
It's been a long time since we've seen a pitch registered at 103 here at Comerica Park. Joe Zumaya might have been the last one to touch that. And that's been a minute.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He dusted him. And 103 to end the ball game.
It's ridiculous how hard that boy threw.
So the Tigers get a 2-out hit, strand a man, and the Reds have split this series here as they win tonight over the Tigers by a score of 5-2. We'll be back to Comerica Park.